なんかめっちゃ音でかいねんけど。そんなもん。
まあなんか
そんなもん。
うるさくはない。
あ、こんなもんさ。
うん。
はい。てかさ、
うん。
配信の音どんなもん？羽織るかな？
まあ別に。
マックスそうか。
うん。
あ、もうちょっと音弱くてもいいか。普通？
うん。
あ、
まあ別に。
まあもうちょっとであれも来るからアストロ。
あ
だからこっちでもう999で動かせるかもしれない。ただこれ問題があって、コントローラーサポートしないから。
任して。ひたすらに推理するから。
あ、オッケー。多分そんな内容濃くないと思うんやけどな。謎解くだけやから。
でもほんまなんか新しいようななんか。
ジャンルとしてはめちゃめちゃ新しい。結構2015年のゲームやったからな。いやもうヒントとかも一切ないもん。
あ、もういきなりか。
いきなり。
だからまあその。
ちょっと待って、これを待って。これからでいいか読むのは。
コンピューターテクノロジーは現代の警察活動のなんちゃらを担うものであり、このロジックデータベースは我々の仕事の流れをデジタル化し、より活用しやすい形で証拠を保存するための試みの一つです。犯罪に対処するために最重要ツールとしてコンピューターの需要を今後も一層高まっていくことが予想されています。このデータベースにはポーツマスの凶悪犯罪関連アーカイブより集めたビデオ映像が収納されています。データは ASR テクノロジーによって自動的に整頓され、各証言は個別のクリップに分割されて保存されているため、それぞれにキーワードを追加するタグをつけることが法廷への提出の際などに活用することができます。はいはいはい。あ、めっちゃ下続いてるのか。
あ、めっちゃあるな。
クリップを取得するには検索ボックス
にする必要があり、で、強盗、言葉を入れて検索を押すと、その言葉が含まれるクリップが検索されます。また、半角スペースで区切って複数の言葉を入力することで検索の幅を狭めることもできます。強盗、スーパーマーケット、テープを文字に起こした資料が手元に入る場合は発言の全文でダブルクォーテーション、点のやつかで過去語とその発言を完全に一致するクリップを見つけることも可能です。例えばなるほど。この点々と点々の中に A その場所にいたわっていうのを打てば、それに完全に当てはまる何かが出てくるっていうこと。
なるほど。
なるほど。検索してクリップ後で参照したい場合はセッションに保存のタブをクリックし、またはタグにボックスに
なるほど。これがデータベースやねんな。なるほど。
パソコンいじってるみたいな。ハードディスク232やって。インスタントファイルアクセス。ないな。
なるほど。まあ殺人って入ってるから、とりあえず殺人で検索してみますか、じゃあ。
そうしますか。
なるほど。
3つ。まあ1個から見ていきます。11秒。
11秒。
そうですよ。
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
なるほど。この人は警察はほんまに殺人やと思ってるんかと。これは
まあなんてことない映像です。12秒です。
Yeah. that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
はい、サイモン出まし
はいサイモン
た。サイ
な、
モン。
殺されたのはサイモン。
これメモあ、間違った。メモいるか。ちょっと
メモしていきましょうか、私が。
パソコンでもいいけど、いちいち打ってたらあれかもしれへん。タブ閉じてまうかもしれん。
私がメモしていきましょうか。
サイモ
なんかいらん紙があったかな。被害者サイモン。
ン。サイモン。2月って言ってもあっただろ。2月なんかあんのか。
2月が殺人が起こった時で、今はそれの数ヶ月先やと。
そういうことやな。
なるほど。被害者。
会社ね、会社。
マルガイ。
丸貝。
被害者と。被害者は、サイモン。
ちょっと今日な、お疲れ気味やから俺脳回らんかもしれへん。
なるほど。
お、ほんで。
サイモン。犯行は2月です。
はい、2月。
犯行日時。
いや、もう一回さっきの長くな。
Yeah, that's me. But
防犯カメラ、これありちゃん。防犯カメラ、これ多分この達成してるの写真か防犯カメラなんですよ。
なるほど。まあ取り調べ最中の防犯カメラもしくは普通に撮影されてた。
いや、だからその取り調べ最中っていうか、その殺人を犯した日の防犯カメラもしくは写真。
この人が見てるのが。
そうそう。
俺ら
私をって言ってるから写真を見て。
yeah,
私を。
なるほど。
だからまあ。
but
写真を見て、確かにこれ私ですねっていう。
でも数ヶ月前でしょ。ちょっと待って。
yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
殺人が起こったのは、この写真は 2月の私でしょ。
なるほどね。何の関係が。
数ヶ月前のに、今の殺人と何の関係があんねんっていう話か。なるほど。じゃあ犯行月は2月じゃなくて、
写真か防犯カメラちょっとキーワードに入れといて。
写真または防犯カメラ。
写真または防犯カメラ。やばい。水分不足かもしれない。口パリパリ。いや、どこやったかな。俺リップどこやった。リップあれ。
なるほど。
じゃあ次いきますね。
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now.
これ3月7日。
You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
なるほど。
待って、これちょっと待って、一回セッションに戻しようか。3月7日これが
1月7日。
1月7日。いや、まあ、撮影
1月7日やのに2月でしょって言ってたで、この人。これ、なんか、どういうこと？
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder.
どうやら曜日じゃないっぽいな。
どうやら曜日じゃないんだ。2706違うんか。030794 030794あれ一緒やろこれ。これとこれは一緒やろ。
01やな。
あ、0107これは2706。94は一緒なのか。
なるほど。
何調べる？あ、一回写真か防犯カメラ行ってみるか。
サイモン。
ああ、サイモン行ってみる。あれこれ日本語で調べるのか。ああ、日本語か。
おお、なるほど。
ああ、ちょっと一回これ消すか。お、ちょっと待って、消され。あ、ちょっと待って。
OK。今がいつか見れんのか。21年6月16日。
あ、そういう見方か。ああ、ちょっと待って。ちょっと一回殺人戻っていい？
うん。
あ、これ、ああ、はい。あ、
なんか消してますね。
ちょっとこれは、これどうやって消すんやろ。
わからん。
あ、検索履歴。サイモンで52出てきてんねん。
そう、52個あるけど、5番目までしか見られへんって書いてあった。
あー、そうなんや。
だからここに収まる数しか多分見られへん。
あー、なるほど。これで消すんか。あ、やっとかった
序盤でよかった。
申し訳ない。まあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあまあマジ序盤でよかったわ。
何も進んでないから。
ってことは2027年6月。
いや、そうなると次は1とかやったからおかしいな。
ああ、なるほどな。
一つ思ったんは、94年7月1日とか反対から言ったらまあ一応つながりはするよなって思ったけど。
めっちゃどうでもいい話だけど、クレカとかは逆なんやな。クレジットカードの表記とかはこういうピッピンのステンドタイプは
多分そうなんやろうな。
逆やね、だから7月の1日っていう感じだね。
じゃあ94年なんや。
ああ、94年っぽいな。
なるほど。
時計で確か分かるよな。
時計が21年6月16になってるから
94年。ああ、だから昔のやつを遡るってなったらまあまあまあ合ってるっちゃ合ってるけどな。
待って待って、もう一回見てくれ。7時やろ今。あ、そっかそっか。21年6月16日か。
そうそうそう
の、
7時、今1分ぐらいじゃん。一回じゃあ最後にしますか。もっと絞れってこと、要は。
そうやな。
まあまあまあまあまあまあ、とりあえず一旦見てみるだけ見てみます。
94年やね。
Sam Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass.
止められへんわ。
Sam does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
なるほど。
ガラス会社？
鏡とかガラスとかの会社。
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
ザ・ロック。
There's some other regulars there that Sam likes.
サイモンは常連。ザ・ロックの常連。ヘレンっていう娘。
Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
サイモンはあの日も何杯か飲んだらしいわ。
なるほど。 ザ・ロックで
ちょっともう一回流
It's
し
the
ようか。
Rockington Arms.
ザ・ロックでピーターとスー
It's
ザ
run by
ン。
a nice couple, Peter and
こういう
Susan.
いい感じのカップルが
With
経
some
営
other
していて、
regulars
サイ
there
モン
that
は
some
常
likes to drink
連。
with. And the barman
たまに
that
ヘ
had
レンって娘も
sometimes.
働いて、
Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
って言ってます。
なるほど。
はい。次行きます。
サイモン行きつけの店。
Yes, there's an abstract one.
アムストラットの
No
パ
one
ソ
uses
コン。
it very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon
サイモン
sometimes
は
plays
ゲ
games.
ーム。
うん。
You know, climb the tower, save the princess,
そうなんだ。
that kind of thing.
あーマリオみたいなやつね。
普通に進めたら普通にクリアできる。
Simon isn't the type to run off
失
or do
踪事件
anything
か。
crazy.
うん。
Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
うん。
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
この子はサイモンの嫁か彼女だよな。
彼女か嫁か。まあまあ、せやその、まあ、親しい関係の中にある。
ザ・ロック調べてみますか。
ザ・ロックいきますか。おーおー
お新しいやつか。
一回出てきたな、これは。これ見てるやつ
そうやな
うん、これ言ってる。42秒。
お
長い。
So, it was Friday
なるほど、
evening.
喧嘩をしていたと。
We had an
Yeah.
argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
なるほど。ザ・ロックに行った後から喧嘩して家を出て、
この人の
うん。
ああ、ははは。
で、ザ・ロックに行ってから消息は分からへんと。
なるほど。
うん。
あの人。
I don't know. I mean, I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
うん。なるほど。ザ・ロックの女の人何やったっけ。ピーターと、
ああ。
真ん中のやつが名前言っとったやつかな。
あ、真ん中か。
It's the Rockington Arms.
ピーターとスーザン。
It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with. And the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
うん。何杯か飲んだ。あの日、だからまあ金曜日
まあ、
なんだな。
喧嘩して、
出て行ってザ・ロックに行って何杯か飲んでると。
ああ、はいはいはい。まあまあ、ちょっと話分かってきた。でよな。ちょっと防犯カメラって出るんかな、そもそも。
うん。
ああ、出えへんのか。
お
写真いいっすか、進
う
め。
ん。
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build, He's clean shaven.
ピーターの特徴ね。
ああ、なるほ
His
ど。
beard grows against ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
ああ、
うん。
そう。
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago.
6月中。
He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though.
ピ
He
ーター
takes them
は
off with the camera.
180
But
センチぐらいで、
properly, you know,
まあダークブラウン、まあ茶髪
a
で、
newspaper or a menu
Megane.
restaurant. Not book so much or watching TV. He likes TV. Yeah,
俺撮ってたっ
we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
うん。
あとは日付関係あんのかな。
だからピーターとあいつのことを探るかやな。ザロックの人。
ああ、ピーター誰やったっけ。誰やったかな。ああ、あれ入れとけばよかった。
It's the Rockington
あ、
Arms.
スーザン。
The Rock.
あ、見てるわ。
同じやつか、さっき。
同じやつや。
だからこの人らはあんま関係ないんやろ。
なんかあるかな。日付とかでも出てくるのかな。
かな。
It's the Rockington Arms. The Rock. It's
か、
run by-
殺人であんだけいっぱい出てきたってことは、
証拠とかは。
ああ、なるほどな。
あ
もっとその殺人っていうワードを根掘り葉掘りなんか入れて、もっと絞れってことか。
あ、出てき
ああ、
た。
新しいの出てきた。
Really?
1分
Okay.
40秒。
Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the dock to all the wind and the rain till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by on a dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair on the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair on a dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows on the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows on a dreadful wind and rain. And he was the only tune that the fiddle could play was all the dreadful wind and anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
意味が分からない。そもそも取り調べで歌を歌うことそのもの、ギター持ってきて歌を歌うことそのものが意味分からへんし、指の骨でペグ作ったって結構やばいね。なるほど。
ああ、一回これ見てみる、ゴミ箱。押せる。一人でやるパターンのやつ。ザロックからの行方不明。とりあえず出てきたわ。
出てきた。
曜日で調べたら、とりあえず見てないやつが3つポロンと出てき
た。なるほど。あれ、ともちゃん。
またホラー？
ホラーじゃない
じゃないねんな。これなんか殺人かもしくはなんか行方不明になった人を探せっていう、まあ新感覚の証拠を自分で検索して何かキーワードを入れて、で動画見てなんか探っていくみたいな、すげえ新感覚の、映画を自分で紐解いていくみたいな。
まあまあ俺らは刑事側なんよな。
そう、俺らは刑事側で。
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and wake up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And I... Is there a bin?
おーっと、体調悪いんか。
ちょっともう一回見ていいですか？
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car.
土曜日戻ってきたんですね。
When I woke up, I came straight back.
ああ、この人が。
Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and...
まあ仲直りしたくて探しに行ったけど、まあいなくてっていう感じだ。
It was late, early Saturday morning.
ああ、すでに無曜日が変わって夜になっていた。11時半に。
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
何のヒントもなかったか。何が曜日で調べてまあパパッと出てきたけど、日付とか出てくるのかこれ。ちょっと 打ったら2729スラッシュって何や。
桃鉄なう。しかも動画ってアニメとかじゃなくて人間なのね。
そう
ほんまにお前実録みたいな感じよな。
そう実録のスラッシュで打つの。あ、これか。
ともちゃん桃鉄弱いから練習しときや。
2906でいくか。
It was late. Early Saturday.
あ、スラッシュ出えへんの。スラッシュってやっぱ数字では出えへん。ダビングしまくり量。
いやもうあれもうダビングしだしたらもうゲーム崩壊するから。
お前マジでそれな。なんかキーワードありますか。時間で言ってみるか。時間でそうやわな。日にちで出るんや。曜日で出るんやったら時間で出るんやな。
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year.
エリック調べてないな。
エリック。さっきエリック行ってみるか。見てからでいいか。
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste.
エリックとダイヤンか。
That time. You must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
これちょっとグラス号絶対いるわ。エリックと何だっけ。
スーザンちゃうか。
Yeah, that's Simon's watch.
エリックとピータ
It was a gift from Eric.
ピーター
He got it this
選
year.
んだのはピータ。
It was a wedding anniversary gift.
ピーターってザロックのやつじゃん。
そう。
It would have been Diane.
Diane.
who chose
Diane.
it.
二人ともちゃう。
Really nice taste. That time. You must
なる
eliminate
ほ
me.
ど。
これちょっと
Glasgow then.
まあこの人のアリバイはグラスゴーにいたってこと
っていう多分これちょっと進展あるよ絶対。
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
一応9時。一応9時。
I didn't. I slept
夜
in the
の9時。
car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there. That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in
容疑っ
Glasgow,
てもう死んでる体やん。
can't be in two places at once.
今だって俺らを見てたもんって。
まだ失踪かどうかも分からない。
失踪かどうかも微妙なラインじゃん。
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in, Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. Eleanor?
これでいい。
うん。
まあキーワードがいっぱい今出ましたけど。
そうやな。
どれからいきましょうか。
まあグラスゴー。
グラスゴー。もうそれ確信に迫ってまうやつやん。
そもそもグラスゴーが何かが分からない。
ああ、まあ確かに。
店なのか。
はい。
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped,
使命感がグラスゴーまで来てる。
I was so tired. I just had to sleep. Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
No,
I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital.
だから座りみたいなんで書いてたんか。
It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. 病院 There's a scratch on the car.
病院車。病院車。
病院車妊娠。
はいはいはい。俺シッって一回調べてみていい？なんで日本語だって。競技一番重要じゃない？
見てるな。これは多分凶器も証拠もないのになんで私やねんって言ってた。
言ってるやつやから。見てみますか。6月27日。
The bruise.
ゲロ吐いた日やな。
I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policeman. I found the body. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. there's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
死体が映ってるけど、地下に降りて子供のところ見に行ったら袋を開けたら死体があったみたいな。
His body.
ああ。
It didn't look real.
6月の20。
And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
ああ、びっくりした。やっぱ明かりで人が出てきたもん。
サイモンが死んでんのは間違いないな。
間違いない。
Well, she has a knife, but she's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. He's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends.
これの彼と彼女は誰なの？
絵本っていうかなんか書類みたいなやつなのかな。
1984 was an awful year in the end.
10年前。
We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. The forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
で、多分ダグとエレノアも死んでるな。6月27日結構いろいろ語ってんな。
だいぶ語ってる。あ、けど25日って結構初めて。
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. She throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
No.
ハッピーエンドと
一石のロック解除さ。
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. How many of these in colour?
Oh.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
病院行ってみますか？
Ask the hospital. I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital?
病院を押すよ。
だからそれが私のアリバイ
It's
よ
like
っ
I
てこ
told
と
you
だ。
before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them.
何があったんや？
Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back.
何
I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
花
セッション入れとか一応。
花は新しいね。
赤ちゃん、ちょっと待って、赤ちゃんどこ行ったの？そもそも。
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
6月25やからめちゃめちゃあれやん。最初の頃や。死んでるか死んでるか分かんない。
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time with the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope. From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday. Then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. Turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to...
これがだから要は車に乗る原因だった話か。
まあ赤ちゃんのことで口論になって
だっていう話やな。
サイモンも出て行ったし、もう私も血が上ってたからとりあえず車走らせて北に向かってグラスゴーに着きましたと。
っていう話やな。で起きてからはハグやった？
でから
なんか誰かに電話したんですよ。
花
行ってみるか。
全部見てないですね。
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's a palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work from America. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
あれこれ6月18日ってめっちゃ前やな。
うん。
What are you doing talking about you?
イブ。
やめろそれ。
イブのこと言い出してから急にちょっとおかしなった。
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
は？何今の間違い？
私は話すんですよ。花のことやな、完全に。どういうことや？
何今の間違い？
めっちゃ花に電話した言うとったのに自分のことは花言い出したぞ。
は？俺が直哉ですって言ってるような前。
直哉に電話したって言ってたのに、俺直哉ですって急に言い出してるような前。
もうやんな。
ちょっと
黒やん。
黒やな。
もう黒や。
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born,
私と花
I was born at the same time.
双子か?
The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
フローレンスというか。
何これ急に音楽変わったけど。おい何？ちょっと待って。
なんや急に。
こんなんあった？
いやないな。いやあったか？
あ、今こんだけ全部見てるよってこと？
あ、そういうことか。データベースチェック。
結構あるな、じゃ
あ。フローレンスの日記に書いてるねんやろな。
フローレンスを見るかじゃあ。
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
なんかちょっと話つながってきたか？さっきな、あれ顔のあざはどうしたみたいなこと言われてたんよ。
はい。
で、血行がいいのですぐ治りました。
はい。
これは双子が
入れ替わってるってことか。ちょっと待って、一回これの時のさ、意味わからん。なんか何々言ったのなぜみたいな。イブか。イブを一回調べてみていい？
ウーに点々やな。
あ、ウーに点々。
あ、出てきた。
ちょっと待って、一回ウーでも調べてみる。ウーに点々。ウーに点々ってどういうこと？
ウーに点々。ウーに点々。
ウーに点々ってどういうこと？
そう考えたらウーに点々ってなんや？ ああ V か。まあそう言われたらそうやろな。
めっちゃ出てくんな。の日記まで出てくるのか。
いや日記はフローレンスやな。
そうかそうかそうか。
イブはもう今のところどういう人物なのか全く分かってない。
ちょっと待って、じゃあイブ
か花とイブっていう双子の兄弟なのか。
やってるやん。
うん、
フローレンス行くか。ちょっと待ってな。フローレンスでも出てくるのかどうか。
ああ、まあ、確実に出てくるやろうな。
あ、間違った。出てきますね。
どっちからいきますか。
ああ、まあまあそれは出てこんのか。ああ、日記からフローレンスからいきますか。どっちがいい？
まずイブが誰
かっていうのを調べるか。
多分イブがこの双子の花の相方なんやったら、フローレンスの日記に多分花とイブの話が出てくる。
そういうことだ。はいはいはい。
まずイブ、あ、友達なんや。
いや、友達って言ってるだけだ。小さい時の。憎んでましたわ。
憎んでますね。
Yes. We'd fight.
こいつもしかしてイブもあやめた。
おおおお。There was no one else around. He was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship. A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my family. So my parents let me off.
イブと2人で家出したんや。で、ボブ・ディランのツアーに行こうとした。
で、イブになすりつけた全てを。
My mother called me Eve.
は？
なんどいちょっと待って。
おっと、母は私をイブと呼んだ。
My mother called me Eve.
イブ、まあけどイブとタグやな。私を母はイブと呼んだってことは、タグとイブが入れ替わってても分からんかったみたいなパターンなんかなと思って。
まあフローレンスの
一回フローレンス行きますか、じゃあ。あ？
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up, take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy
なるほど。自分のお母さんは、その死んだって言われた自分のことをフローレンスに後始末を任せたと。そういうことやろな。
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
なるほど。
なるほどね。
そのたまに出てくる人の
なあ、やんねん。
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
なるほど。フローレンスの過去は関わってくるんか？
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
やっぱイブやわ、双子の相方は。
今ちょっと一通り見たけど。
だからまあフローレンスが、まあ、死んだって偽ってまあ双子の相方を
引き取ったみたいな、
引き取って名付けたのがイブ、でその双子の普通に育てられた方が花。
はいはいはい。で花とイブが入れ替わっても分からへんと。
サイモンとイブの関係を探るのか、そもそももうサイモンが花と結婚していたのかイブと結婚していたのかすらも分からへん。
そやな。友人っていう人、
ダグとエレノアも誰か分かってない。
ダグ行ってみるか。
エリックとダイアンはサイモンの友人やったことは分かった。
I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
う
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure.
両親の干渉ってことはダグとエレノアはサイモンの親やな。
あ
I hoover, I dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, you know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
うん。
一個いいですか。
うん。うん。
あるね。か、エレノは行きたいな。
ああ。おー、ここだけある。
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to
エレ
say.
ノは誰なんや。
It's more just
エレノアはだからサイモンの親。
あ、特に話すことがあるわけじゃない。タグ
ダグは親父や。サイモン。
あー、エレノアとタグはもう両方親なんや。
うん。
あー、なるほど。
結婚してって言ってたから。
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
あ、
サイモンはダグと花、ダグじゃないわ。花とイブ両方行ってますわこれ。
あー、そういうこと。
うん。でどっちかと結婚してどっちかと浮気してる。
はいはいはいはいはいはいはい。
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead, it doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford. When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or...
モールス信号あんけん。
おいおいおいおい、これ
モールス信号調べましょう。
これやっとんな。あのさ、俺がやめろやって言って。
イブの時な。ああ。
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
まあまあま
モールス信号これ あるね。
ぶっ刺さるか。
刺さらんのか。信号。
ああ、信号だけでいく。
まあモールス信号とか言ってないからね。
だよな。
さっきのやつか。
やめろやって言ったやつこれか。
うん。
肌調べてないか。
花は調べてないか。
待って、検索履歴見るの。空爆で出てきたぞ。
何もせんとやったら。だか
あ
らこれ271個全部なんやな。
なるほどな。けど肌調べてる。
調べてんの。でも花で19件あるってことは、花何々で絞ったらまだなんか出てくるなみたいな。だから花イブで調べたら2人の生い立ちが出てくるかもしれない。
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get it.
もう直哉に言ってることはもう刺さってるわ。
She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him.
2人で1人してたんか。
Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, that I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
カールは誰や？
カールは誰っすか。
まあ花とイブは2人で1人してるね。
下に行けば行くほどか。もうここはもう決定やな、花イブは。ただサイモンやったっけ。カールか。カール行くか。結構あるね。5個中の5個やわ。
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15. No, I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. Stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family. Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
いや、もっとなんか内々なこと聞きたいよね。
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date.
ちょっと待って、もう一回戻っていい？
Hannah was so smitten with
サイ
Simon.
モン。
She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
なるほど、これはイブやねんな。
これだから事情聴取してんのもイブと花両方混じってんねやろ。
犯人はイブです。花は妊娠してて、ほんまに病院に行ってるから。
そうやな、ガチのそうやもんな。まあさすがにな。これはだから何がクリアになるの？
ダブルクォーテーションでなんちゃらこうちゃらつってたやつがなんかあれなんじゃないの？
これ結構全部この動画を見たらクリアになる？
いや、そうじゃないと思うな。見てみる？
あ、だいぶ。
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. I'm sweet enough as it is.
イブかタグっぽいな。あ、ここにメモ打てんのか。
ああ。
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
うん。
ちょっともう一回これだけ見て。
うん。
花とイブ。花が誰？
花は双子のどっちかやろ。
そうか。ああ、そうだ。花とイブが
双子。双子もしくは二人で一つ。
病院調べたか。
うん。
病院調べてる。
サイモンとカールの関係は？
サイモンカール行く？
見てるな。
タクシーは
妊娠してるのが花なの。花がサイモンと初めて、
運転がうまいって言ったのがどっちかやったかよ。
あ
待って、車で運転か車調べたら。見てないやつある？見ていい？
うん。
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that. Differences?
これや
She's
な
a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at.
花の方が運転うまいんやな。
そういうことやな。
でやっぱ妊娠してたのは花で、
逆に花殺人。
どういうゴールをしたらいいんかが分からへんな。まあ犯人像はまあ花かイブのどちらかなんやけど、まあイブなんやけど、俺のもうあれではもう完全にイブなんやけど、
ただどうやって殺したか動機っていうのもなんとなくしか分からん。
まあどうやって殺したかはまあもう
ナイフでは調べてないな。
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Carlとサイモン、事故？
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point, and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day, and I left.
まあフローレンスやな。
Walked out and across the street.
そもそもなんで、サイモンを殺さなあかんかったか分からへん。まあその男女のもつれなんやろうけど、タグとこの花のもつれなんやろうけど、なぜ殺さないといけなかったのか。だから何の目的で2人で近づいたのかっていうのも分かってない。
まあそもそも好きやったっていう。
いやだから好きになったのは付き合ってからやから。
なるほど。
何のためにカールもサイモンも近づいたのっていう目的が分からんよなっていう、俺はシンプルな疑問やった。
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
大門つながりでなんかあれするか。
いっちゃん最初の殺人で友達って言ってたん誰だったっけ。なんか選んでくれたって言ってなかったっけ。なんか
エリック
言ってみるか。
エリックがプレゼントくれたけど、センスがいいから多分ダイアンが選んだのねって言ってた時計。
なるほどな。エリックって調べたから。
エリックは調べてない。
めっちゃあるな。
He was wearing a shirt. It's a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house. Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
まああとはさっきコーヒー飲んでたけどブラックでいいわっていう人って多分妊娠してない。
Well, Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spent a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
まあこの人そもそも入れ墨入ってないからな。
ほんまや。ダイアン調べたか。
ダイアンは調べてない。しかも歌歌ってるやつもあるよ。
ほんまや。
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel? Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
けどあと これでは調べてなかった。これでは調べてないな。
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
お
Are you out of your mind? Twins? There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
双子じゃないんか。
離婚も出てきとったね。
いや、それは多分ダイヤの大きな話をしてる。
ああ。これちょっと待って、日付を見てみたら
7月
0720か02か。
うん。
けど双子の話をしたんって3日ぐらいじゃなかった。これ
3日か。
It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I
違う
don't
な。
have my own car.
ライブを話してる時っていつや。
7月
3日や。
Difference is, she's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't
言
rely.
ってることが違うぞ。こいつと違う、こっちの方では。
そうやな。
双子じゃない？親子？
片方は双子って知ってるけど片方は双子って知らん。
知らんみたいなかなんか。けど交互にトイレで入れ替わったって言ってたからな。知ってんのはおかしいけどな。
まあな。うん。
結構この辺は網羅してんの。
まあ、仮に答え分かってどうすんの？
ちょっと待って。クリア条件やな。そもそも何をしろって言ったっけな。自分でみんな分からん。何をしろって言ってたんかを分かれば分かる。 事件の真実を暴きましょう、導きましょうって書いてある。ただそれだけやな。動画内に散らばるキーワードを元にデータベースを検索し、事件の真相を見つけ出しましょう。やっぱり多くの説明はなく、まず大きな荷を下ろすのが主人公は何が起こっていて何が起こっていたのか、プレイヤーが積極的にゲーム内の、主人公に重なっていくために、能動的に調べていく語り方によって小説でも映画でもない価値観をiPad 版があるんや。やっぱ調べていけば調べていくほど何かそのあれなんじゃないの？クリアに導く何かがあるんじゃないの？と思うんやけど。
なるほど。じゃあもう全キーワードを調べていくしかないみたいなところ。
まあだから何が起こって何が起こってて何が起きてるのかっていうのを調べればクリアになるんじゃないかな。もしくは全部を解放させるか。キーワード自体も。これ完全に一致するクリップを見つけ出すことも可能です。なるほど。多分今ざっくりとしてるものしか調べてないかもな。エリックは調べたか？エリックだけは。
エリックとダイアン両方調べた。
Just became our way of life.
一人の人間
Swap places and taken in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
けど一人で、二人で一役を演じるっていうの。
やっぱり二人いるな。
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
あれはなんかさ、イブって間違えてブーって打ったらさ、何個か出てきたよ。
今の検索ワードに？
ウーに点々で打つ前にさ、ブーにフーに点々で打ったら何個か出てきたよ。何か関係してるのか。見てんのか。
こっちのイブとこっちのウーは違うんか。 違うっぽいな。これが出てきてんな、多分。
あ
いいブーで打った時は。決定的な違いがある。違い？そんなあまあけど調べてないで言えばあれやな、妊娠も調べてないな。ああ、やっぱそうやわな。
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room, and they decided we should get married.
だからこれ言ってんの6月25やからな。
No, I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after. Yes, I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back, me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
もうおかしな点が出てきてるね。
Yes, I'm fine. Oh, I was sick again. This happened some days. I'm pregnant.
ほら、もうおかしい。
もうお
It's
かしい
morning
な。
sickness.
もうだって言ってるのも2日前と違うからな。
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
最後は知ってたんか。
だから花は流産したのにイブが次妊娠したのか。
あー、そういうこと。逆になったってこ
今までの立場が
と。なるほどな。
逆になったのかもしれない。
か、そのなんかおかんが私をイブって呼ぶことにしたって言った時点で、ほんまは花やけど、イブになって、花がイブが花になったみたいな。もうだから自分自身すら分かってない状況になって。
ああ、自分がイブか花か。
そうそう、イブか花かも分かってないみたいな。
でも妊娠してて、
こんなんセックスとか入れたら出てくるのかな。
妊娠してて病院行った時は俺らは花やと思ってたけど、そいつがイブやった。
イブやったっていうパターンかな。出るわ。
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate. It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
セックスだけじゃない何か。
なるほど。続きっぽいな。
You're reaching here. I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon's dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs?
これはもう検索ワードの浮気が。
浮気が。
Is this your thing?
多分新しい話が出てくるんでしょうね。
The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17.
めちゃめちゃ前の。
But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
17歳だったっつってね。
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes.
だいぶ前の
What
話してる
to do? Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
ちょっと一回これ言っていいですか。じゃあこっちで出るんかな、日本語で。ああ、出るな。6月18日やからめっちゃ前や。
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
17で結婚した同時に子供ができたってことか。
Cute. You must love them very much. What ages are they?
まあ浮気いきますか。あら、とんでもない量出てきたわ。
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband.
しかも夫が浮気してるの。
But it's okay because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
あ、意味よかった今。
サイモンも双子か？
夫が浮気してるのを目撃してしまったから泣いている。まあまあわかるわな、それで。けど、でも彼女が見たのは実の夫じゃなくて彼の弟だったの。
実は夫じゃなくて彼の弟だった。だから問題。
は、ちょっと待って、日本語がよくわからない。ちょっと待って、俺の理解力がなさすぎるから。
だからサイモンが浮気してると思ってたけど、それはサイモンじゃなくてサイモンの弟だった。
ああ、そういうことか。ああ、だから問題ないって言って。ああ、なるほど。
An affair. Simon wasn't having an affair. No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon. Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other.
タトゥーめっちゃ入れ替わってるわ、多分。
うん。
You do what you can.
タトゥー弟。ああ。
タチュー。チュー。
TYU か。
あ、TYU。
タチューやな。
何しやねん。チュー。TU。TYU でチューか。
TYI。
タチー。
TYO か。
テュー。タトゥーか。
うん。
TYU。あ、TWU。
ややこしい。
あ
あ
あ。もっと早めに調べとけばよかった。これ。
あ。うん。
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake. So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the light.
知ってた系か。
He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
サイモンは
サイモン知ってたっぽいなこれ。双子じゃないけど。彼ってそもそも一体誰を指してるのかにもよるけどね。まあちょっとめっちゃ出るかな思ったけど。
73個のクリップが見つかりました。
のうちの3個とりあえず見れるよ。
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument.
Helen?
but I'm not
あ
sure
これ
what she
は
said.
ザ・ロックでたまに働いてる娘。
はいはいはいはい。ヘレンは調べてねえな、そういや。
No. I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
男交えた女ってこうなるんか。
Suicide? No. I mean, he would never do anything like that. He is not the kind of person to do anything like that. I mean, to hurt himself? No.
まあ俺の中の解釈は、なんか結婚してた方が怖なってっていうか、なんか相手側に取られそうになって、もう一人の自分に取られそうになって帰ってこうへんから、もう暴露してやろうみたいな感じで警察署に来たみたいな感じなんかなとは思ってた。ああ、ヘレン来ますか？
ああ、2つだけなんや。
けど殺すっていうのがマジで分からんねんけど、動機って何なの？なぜ殺さないといけなかったのかっていうのが分からんよな、今現状。
まあ動機は全く分かってないな。
いやまあその男女のもつれやとしても、
明確な動機は分からんな。
何が起こって殺そうとなったのかっていうのはマジで分かってないな。
まあだから花はサイモンと結婚してた。イブは別の場所でサイモンと出会ってサイモンと浮気していた。
浮気か。浮気は調べたか。
浮気ででも7個出てきてるからな。絞ったら別のやつが出るかもしれない。
彼女で出てくるのかな。じゃあ彼で出てくるってこと。
なんか1個出てきたな。
Okay, she's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
あとまだサイモンの秘密っていうのもまだ分かってないな。サイモンが何かを隠してたっぽい。
サイモンの秘密で調べる？
ああ。秘密？そう。あともう一個俺は今のでヒントを得ました。サトシ。これどうすか？これドン。はい。まあ一個だけか。
Yes. I thought about telling Hannah. I felt guilty after the kiss. But then it began to feel like this was the way it should be. Sharing, like we had before. He never mentioned her to me. There was the Simon with me and the Simon with her. It was almost like it was a different Simon. But
でも気になるな、このデモの続き。まあ多分ちょっとは分かってきたけど、結構この辺ここ一列ほぼほぼ埋まってない。何かワードで調べてないワードがあるっぽいな。
ウィッグはウィッグ。
ああ、ウィッグ。ウィッグでいい。
ウィやな。 ちゃいいか。また W ちゃうか。あ、できた。
すまん。これは盲点でしたわ。
いっかか。
A wig? You mean? But what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
うん。じゃあこいつはウィッグつけてんのか。
これが
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap? This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
だからアザがどうのこうの言ってたんか。猫？
そう、俺もマジで同じこと思ってた。
猫こうた言うとったしな。
これはカタカナでいかないと
多分そうやな。
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door. No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it. We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
ドミノ？メモ？
じゃあ
そこ出てんな。
ビッグで多分今表示されたの。表示っていうか、池田っぽいな。ビッグ関連やな。アザ。
Bruce. Oh yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going to the cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. We hurt like hell.
だからこれさ、殺人で一発目に調べたときに全ての単語で調べていってたら、順番よくいけたかもしれない。
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our hands to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. But she snuck a frozen pizza up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs,
す
nits.
ごいな。実際にあるっぽいもんな、こういうのって。いやー、けどほんまにサイモンの秘密がマジでわからんわ。サイモンは何か絶対隠してんのよ。時計調べたな。
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
お
アリバイ。
あー、調べてないな。
何こ
え、どんな感じで終わったのか。誰？
あれなんじゃない？これに結局犯人を打ち込むってことなんじゃない？
二人。ちょっと待ってよ。
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up.
待て。
協力で調べるか。
協力。いや、ワンチャン暴力。あ、こっち。DV してるんじゃないの？サイモン。
ああ、そういうこと。
Hurt someone? Yes. But everyone thinks that from time to time, right? You just want to lash out.
うん。
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
まだっていう
コールっていうのは電話のマーク。いや、終わったかい。終わったって言ったらどうなるよ。
打てない。まだ2文字でいい。
あ、はい。
そうか。君のお母さんがなぜ、そうか、それじゃ分かったのか。君のお母さんがなぜあんなことをしたのか。
DV されてて、結局サイモンをお母さんが殺したと。お母さんがサイモンのことを殺した。でもお母さんが捕まるのは嫌やから、自分たちがやったら確実にアリバイを証明して他の人物に目を向けれるから、自分たち。
いや、てかこれ物語的にさ、だいぶ前の話のことを多分遡ってるから、この主人公はこれの生まれた親なんや。息子もしくは娘で警察官になって、自分のおかんのことを調べてる時に殺人系のことで、なんで親が殺したんやろっていうのを調べてたっていう。
この時お腹にいた子供
が今調べてるんじゃない。
なるほどな。
17歳って言ってるから、17歳から産んでたらワンチャンもうええ年やからな。
かなりやもんな。そういうことか。君を守るためだっていうことか。はい。
会話終了しましたね。毎回なってたの。
なってる。もう打ち込まれへん。
打ち込まれへん。
ログオフ。なんか嫌や
な。なんかまだ全然。
まあこれを調べてたのはサラなんや。
そうだよな。いや、やったら全部見た方がええと思うよ。
イブとイブ、花、サラ
は調べてないぞ。
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Ava.
Brian.
V じゃん、V。
エビア。 あ出てきた。
これにしか出てこんねやっぱり。
なるほど。あ、間違った、スクリーンショット。いや、もうちょっとサイモンが何をしてたんかは知りたいな。じゃあ、いや、サイモンが何かをしたことによって今までは別々に喧嘩して熱中してもうて、一人が二人の関係崩れてまた別々になったみたいな。でけど何かが起きて暗黙の了解で私たちを殺すことに決めたってことや。何を決め手になったんやっていう俺は素朴な疑問。暴力なのか、まあ、子供を守るためって言ってたから何をしてたのか。
喧嘩。
ああ、
喧嘩で調べる。内容が出てくるかもな。ああ、
出てないのか。
口論。
けど6月18日やから多分だいぶ前の
Some
話。
couple stuff. A stupid argument.
Oh,
nothing
okay, you're still-
specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
8時くらい。今までさ、見た映像の中にさ、6月30日のやつはあった？
あった。そこそこは。
あ、これ6月30か。
あ、これですね、6月30日。
サラのこと言ってたのが6月30日やったんや。
はあはあはあ。
だから6月30日になんやかんや話したのかなと。
日付では出んのよなけど。
うん。だから6月30日に話してる内容の何かのキーワードでその。
ああ、そういうことな。
What are you doing talking about you?
いいよ。
完全にモールス信号してる
絶
な。
対モールス信号してんもんな。
これちょっとモールス信号の意味だけ調べていいこれ。
ああ、全然いいよ。けど出てくるこれ。ああ、このゲームで調べて出てくるか。
多分。
けどそれ調べたらキーワード出てこん。
ああ。なるほどな。
うん。
でも信号で出てこなかったもんな。
そしたらモールスでもモールス信号で出てこんかったな。暗号か？暗号でも調べて出てこんかったな。
うん、出てこなかっ
だから最後一体何をしたの？日常口論で出て、暴力
た。暴力出たな。
調べた。
うん。夫婦。
ああ。待って、離婚調べてないな。
ああ。
あ
まあ、結婚も調べてないからね、
そうやな
それ言ったら。
Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective? I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to come back and stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
これどうすか？
あ
No, not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
世界は世界。
世界。
二人だけの世界がどうちゃらこうちゃらと言ってた。ああ。
実績的にもロックが全然解除されてない。
うん。お母さん。
お母さん。
母さんって言ってたな。
ああ。浮気は言った。
うん。
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. The miscarriage and then my parents.
25日。
They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful.
30日やぞ。
うまい。
It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. And I'd been so happy to get married, and after that, it was just like, fuck. Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications. Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again.
逆やな。
But
そうやな。
Hannah and Simon
やっぱそうやな。花とサイモンが暮らしてんだけど、ユーザーし
Simon
ない
had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
そしておいちょっと待って、そしての続きみたい。そして何々になったっていう感じや。
もう一回見ようや。
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and
このガラス工場みたいなの調べたらこれ
なんかな、
サイモンのなんか素行歴みたいなの出るんじゃないの？
corrected its
じゃあ直哉が言ってるので割と正しい。だから多分
mind again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaciers.
ガラス屋
Dad
ね
had given
は
him
い
a
はい
full-time position after he left school. And then
いやだから多分今まで多分花の方がもう本気になって結婚して別々になってけど花が妊娠して私は産めなかった、ずっと妊娠せんかったけど流産して子供が産めへん体になってまた一つになったみたいな、だからまた花やるんじゃないの、二人が交互に。
ああそういうことな。
で反対側が次子供ができて産んで花じゃない方って何？タグか。
イブ。
あ、イブか。イブが産んで産むねんけどその間に親父殺さなあかんから。まあそうでしょうね。
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaciers.
なるほどな。
And the Glaciers. I worked there some weekends and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that into just running around like headless chickens most of the time. No. Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
Hmm.
あとあれやな、お金やな。お金がないっつっとって。
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you? No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I don't know. I don't know.
なんや
クレジットカード。
なんで？
エリックに勧められてサイモンはクレジットカードを作ったって言ってたよ。で今支払い関係はお金の支払い関係は私がやってた。
カードか。
それかカードか。
ああ。6月27日結構。
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
心理なんちゃらみたいな。金で出てこんかったな。エリックって一回調べた？
うん調べた。クレジットカードって言ってなかったかな。現金。
ちょっと待って。なんか。ああ、エリック調べてんだ。
エリックで14件か。
現金。お金じゃないか。 お前一体何や何者やこいつ。
夫婦は夫婦。
ああ、夫婦は言ってないな。おお、ドンピシャ。
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. We could argue about anything. But he's so nice. That doesn't help.
彼はセコン
He
ドなん
tries
ですか
to
ね。
smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything. Good. Happy. I mean, ups and downs like any couple, I guess, but we've been married for over 10 years.
6秒。
So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
10年。
ああ。
さっきのやつか。カ
いやもう
ップル。
確実になんかな、セックスとかそういうレベルの話じゃないんよな。性が関係で殺すかっていう話。
まあまあ
子供を守るために何をしたのかっていう話よな。なぜ子供を守るために殺さないといけなかったのかっていうのが、今んとこ分からん。まあ、分からんな。だから DV か俺お酒かドラッグかなと思ってんだけど、お酒も別に出てこなかったし。紹介とかで出てくるのかな。あのさ、エリックじゃないバーの2人は何やった？
ピーターとスーザン。
ああ、ピーターと
一件だけ。一件しか出てなかった。だいぶ序盤に調べてる。
ピーターとスーザン単体で調べてったら違うんかな、まだ。
ああ。多分絞り込んでるから一件なんかもしれん。
ああ、なるほど。いや、
ああ、やっぱ一件か。手紙？
ああ。あれ？
ああ、一件か。
あのモールス信号めっちゃ気になるわ。
気になるな。
あだいぶ埋まってんな。
まあでもモールス信号にまつわることは多分特殊か指や。
指か。特殊。
うん。
言うてもう早くそれあるよって。
Fine.
運営さんこれの
I've had my
指
fingers taken
紋
before.
で指が当たってん
And
の
once
か
got my hand on the oven.
やけど指やけどおう
探偵助手多分めちゃめちゃ
クソ重要なとこやわ。ちょっと待って。
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once got my hand on the oven.
やけどとやけどだけでいいか。やけど覚えとこう。
Fingerprints. Yes. Yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too.
ちょっと掃除とやけどちょっと、
Places.
そうやな。
入れとってくれ。
Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible?
Mm.
ちょっと一回戻りますか。
初心に。
初心に。ちょっと一回見直そう。ここまで来て。
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
あ、ナイフって調べたけど、
うん、
刃物とは調べてないよな。ああ、当たらんのか。
マジ
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
2月。
あ、
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something. That's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
けど確かにこれなんで車北へ走らしたんか、喧嘩しただけで走らしたらいる。
まあな。でもこれ多分さっきなんかたまにスピードが運転が荒くなっちゃうのスピード違反で逮捕しちゃうみたいななんか言ってたよ。
言ってた。
でもこの後に言ってるよな、時系列的には。
ああ、なるほどな。ちょっと原点にして頂点。おい、何してんの。ちょっともう一回見ていい？
うん。
Yeah.
私。
But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
関係？
逮捕？ああ、まあ。
Can I leave? They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
えらい荒く言ってるよ。
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
怒ってますね、えらい。
俺これは
This isn't nice of them.
だいぶ先なってんの。
This is where you take people when it's time to arrest them.
6秒
Yes. No lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for?
逮捕の理由はもう逮捕される前やな、じゃあこれは。
逮捕の理由って
アリバイって調べたか。
証拠がないんよ。てか証拠はこの人たちが殺したって証言してるけど、動機がだからいまいちよく分かってない、なぜだから2人で協力して殺さなかったのかっていうのは分かってない、まだ今のところ。
リンゴ。ギャルみたいな文字振ってたで。
じゃあヘビいくか。リンゴ
ヘビだけでいく。
あ
タトゥーで名前を悟ったって言ってたから、ヘビって漢字やったよ。
ヘビか。
リンゴとヘビのタトゥーで悟った
エピ
ってことは、それに何か意味があるんやな。リンゴとヘビの。
そやな。じゃあ調べたか俺これさっきも。
イブがリンゴを入れる。それすなわちアダム。
はあ、ちょっと待って、アダムでいくか。
そんな飛んだあれないか。
いや全然あるんじゃないの。まあ一回また殺人に一回戻っていいですか。
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing.
凶器。弁護士。
And all these stories
弁護士はな、
are
俺もあるかなと思った。
もう一個あるね。
さっきは続き。
Yes. I understand my rights. No, I don't need a lawyer.
4月3日やからもう
ほんまや、逮捕
寸前の時やな。凶器。
凶器調べてなかったか。待って、歌が早く。凶器は多分調べたな。
ヘビ、スネーク。そんなんせん。
証拠も調べたな。そうやな。
ギター、歌、骨。
ライブ。
ライブ。
少女。
ありそう。
大丈夫か。さすがに。いやー、まだまばらやな。てか、ほんま一番肝心なところやっぱ分かってない。
これ、なんていうの、動画が短ければ短いほどやっぱ探すの難しいから、その分キーワード短いから。
せやな。
結構見つかってんだけど、半分ぐらい。
だいぶ、もうあと3割ぐらい見つければ全部って感じかな。 いやー多分な、殺人
殺害。
兄弟は
ああ。誰？
兄弟
うん。兄は兄。
あ
うん。ああ、21個のクリップ。彼、両親とかで調べたら、もうちょっと絞ってなんかちゃうの出てくるかな。
10個やな。
娘とかは
あ
うん。
お母さんいった？
骨は骨。
骨？いや、出てきてない単語じゃないんよ多分。この動画の中に出てきてる単語で調べて。
いや、この歌の中に骨でペグを作ってどうだ。指の骨でペグを作った。
歌はじゃあ
歌。
ギター。
No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf. Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
まだ歌うんか。2分36秒。
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No, it's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Two sisters came walking by the sea.
姉妹が浜辺を歩いている。
The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind down the drain. So they both had a love for the captain's son.
店長の息子はサイモン。
But he only cared for the youngest
だけど息子が好きなのは妹だけ。水に押さえつけた言うとったな。
言うとったな。
think that's a good place to stop.
実績能力。
だからこの後があれなのな、指の骨で何々を作って
ちょっと気になったのは、姉妹とシミ。何それ。姉妹と待てよ、嫉妬を調べてなかった。嫉妬はないな。私姉妹か。
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister who didn't know she had.
だいぶ確信されてるんですよ。
She knew that instant. The look on his face. She knew.
いやだからサイモンは多分知ってたんじゃないのかな。姉妹がおるって。
いやだからその歌ってるところで出会ったのと自分の嫁と似てたけど、結婚しようってことは言わずにその歌い手の方と関係を持ってて、で妊娠してで実は兄弟がいて実は妊娠してて会ってほしいって言った時にサイモンはそれを悟ったんよ。あいつや。
まあそれはわかるけど、なんでそれで殺す理由になる。サイモンが殺される理由にはならんくない。
いやそれでサイモンがバグってしばき出したら殺すよな。
けどだから暴力では出てこんかったからな。
そもそも妊娠っていうキーワードでこれが出てこへんことがおかしい。妊娠って結構いろんなところで言ってるよな。
言ってんな。もっと狭めなあかんかったな、でもやっぱサイモンが殺される理由にはいずれも今の回答の中ではまだ見えてこうへん感はあるけど、俺は、もう出てんのかな。
まあ子供を守るためやったんやろうっていう憶測はできるけど、
子供を守るために、暗黙の了解で私たちはもう殺すことに決めたみたいな感じで、地下に埋めたみたいな言ってたから、その暗黙の了解は何が起こって暗黙の了解になったんか。
地下でも、
地下で行ってみるか。
当たるね。
刺さるわな、そら。
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
私たちって言ってもんな。
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
コーヒーはコーヒー。
ああ。 うれれれれれれれ。
しかも6個やからまだ1個余分にある。
Black no sugar. Thanks. About 8 years back, it was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
One cup.
No, I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
まあ特にやな。
コーヒー地下室まで入れるのか。そんなことないよな。俺屋根裏も結構
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Oh,
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. In the bedroom. That can't be right. In the bedroom.
なんやねん。同じこと言ってるだけやんけ。
I sleep on the right side of the bed as you come in from the door. You can tell because I have 2 pillows and he just has 1.
ラプンツェル、
ああ、
王子、王女、
王子。
I don't know if anyone really changes. You just become more yourself. Simon was my prince, and that hasn't changed.
ラプンツェル。あ、
か王女か。
あ、王女。
ああ。全部いけるな。
どうは？あ、地下室。
人形？
人形。ああ。
人形。
人形。
あ
そうなんだけど。
やっぱモールス信号なんかな。
暗号でも出んかって、モールス信号でも出んか。まあ、あとはほんま細かいところやな。ここも全然やな。
なんか日付順に下に下がってるんやったら7月3日の分が全然見つかってない。
せやな。これってセーブできるの？
どうなるの？でもログオフしかないもんな。
こんばんは。
モールス信号だけがすんごい気になるな。
トントントン。トントン。指、トントンとかじゃ意味ないよな。
あ
擬音とかいけんのか
あ、カタカナじゃないとあかんじゃん。
な。
ワンちゃん。ああ。うん。鈴？鈴？
あ
あ
殺人犯人
犯人。犯行。
犯行
9時。アーストーリー。
ファースト
アーストーリー。
あ
HER ストーリー。
あ
なんか謎になったりちょっと分かったりを繰り返してるな。
セーブって出てこへんねんけど。
ないんやろな。
ファーストストーリーってあったな。全然ちゃうやつだよね。セーブね。クリア時間2時間ってなってるけどな。で、全実績解除までの時間3時間やって。難易度やや簡単。
そんなに？
切りタイプか。しもたなぁ。このまま置くわけにはいかんねんな。
モールス信号が気になりすぎる。信号も意味なかったもんな。
信号もなかったな。時計調べたんよな。
うん。
病気は？
あ
うん。
助産師。
ああ。
うん。あら。
刺さりまっか、それ。
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
あとはちょっと待って、気になったのは、警察は？
あ
うん。
優子か。
と、妻。
お。
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me. I almost burst out laughing.
もう一回見ていいですか？
After the kiss, the next time, he took
ちょっともう今のうちに調べとこう。キス。
ああ、俺も思った。変わるいっぱいある。
そうでしょうね。いや、いいか、さっき見たもんな、一回。
nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye.
さっき次話した。
Then next week I was singing in the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
はい、OK。ロマンチックか、バー。
パブもありやな。
そうやな。はい、OK。一旦これ見とくか。
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
これ絶対続きやん。
I told her it was one of my boyfriends. someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy,
やっ
but
ぱ
I
り
could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
会ってほしいって言った時のやつか。
そうなんかちょっと最後おかしかったけど、俺の解釈はやっぱ子供ができたっていうのを伝えて喜んでたけど、サイモンとの子なんやろうなと思って。バー、パブ。はい、OK。
God, I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe someone followed him back from the pub. But why would he let them in? Doesn't make sense.
パブ、あとなんて言ったっけ？
ロマンチック。
ああ、そうや。ロマンチックじゃない、ロマンティックだ。妻に戻るか。
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house.
Mm. まだ43個ヒットしてるからな。
Sure, yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there.
電話も調べてないわ。
あ
電話や電話。
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
プレゼントもありやな。
あー、ちょっと電話とプレゼント書いてた。
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything, though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't like to have worked a till.
内気もありやな。
あー、
内気って言えば内気
内気な。さっき内気行くかじゃあ。
あ
電
あ、
話。
電話プレゼント。感じやな。あ
ここだけか。
I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt.
携帯電話もありや
But why
な。
hasn't he been found? I don't know.
ああ、一件になるんか。
なんだっけ。
プレゼント。
あ、プレゼント。
ああ、5個ちょうどか。
しかも右のやつは多分
It
進
wasn't
んでる
present
話
so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror.
鏡。
He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
まあ鏡やガラスの加工をする会社。
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. just like the one he'd given her earlier.
誰に同じプレゼントをしたんか。
Unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round.
首バッサンいったんか。
She'd only meant to scare him off.
なるほど。殺すつもりはなかったのか。
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back.
さっきのやつだな。
そうさっきの
Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier.
なるほど。
That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
鏡で調べたんだ。
うん。プレゼントでしょ。
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. Haven't looked at it since.
狂気が分かったわ。なるほどね。鏡の破片ね。
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that.
誕生日。
俺も思った。おいおいおい。
急にちょける。ああ、でも8個あるのか。
俺な、もう一個あと気になっとったやつだって、何だっけな。私、ちょっと待って。
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
ひらがなやったよ。
ひらがな。
うん。あ
ちょっとトイレ行く。
あ。
なるほどね。なるほど。
どんどん見えてきてるよ、完全体が。完全に実態が分かってきてる。実態が完全に分かってきてるね。
なるほどね。よいしょっと。
On his throat. How?
続きっしょ、これ多分。
うん。
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
なるC でいけるかな。
うん。
いや続きじゃないな。
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
ちょっと待てよ。あ、最後踏んでんな。
踏んでんな。だから私がやりましたみたいな感じのやつやったら。鏡って言った時のやつ
鏡って言った時かな。
俺がちょっと思ったのは装飾、破片、破壊、
はいはいはい。赤い、まず。はいはいはい。破片。はい。装飾。はいはい。
1個当たりますね。
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special one-off. He made it. He decorated it. That's his thing. Where did you find it?
なるほど。
うん。
あとは血じゃなくて血液。
あー。
いやあれだけか。血痕。血の方。血の跡。ああ当たらんか。
いや、多分もう、この辺。
ちょっと歯抜けなだけやもんな。
ここがやっぱえぐいな、
あー
何か抜けてんな。だからここが多分真相分かるラインやとして、
2日とか、7月2日とかそこら辺か。
そこらへんやな。だけど理由は分かった。
なるほどな。本当に殺そうとしたんじゃなくて、喧嘩の延長線
か
で、
つ、双子が引き起こした悲しい事件みたいな感じ。
そうやな。なるほどな。まあでも話の内容はすっごい作り込まれてるけどな。
作り込まれてるな。
事件の内容自体は。
って感じ。まあマジで映画を自分で
そうやな。
推理した感じ。まあだから時系列バグるけど、そのさっきオチ見てまうパターンにはなってまうやろうけど。
なるほどなるほど。
面白いよ。
最後にちょっとモールス信号だけ見ていいですか？
ああ、全然いいっすよ。
これだけ。
多分モールス信号もなんかあるんじゃないのこれ。この埋まらんところに。このあと2個は気になるけどな、ここの。
あー、そこな。
この1個前って何やろ。見つけた。血液破片値喉で調べてたんか俺、喉の前はプレゼントか。
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. Her story present. She cut his throat back. They talked.
あるわ。ありました。
なんて言うの？
Yes.
最初。
あ
The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements. Yes. The first time we saw Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised.
モールス信号のことはなんかあんまりよく書いてないな。
あ、そうなんや。待って。へえ、なんか時系列見たらなんかなるほどなってなるけど。
モールス信号がマジで気になる。別に重要ではないんか、あれ自体は。
重要じゃなさそうやな。
まあでも調べて出てこんってことはまあなんか一件だけ出てきたけど、なんか意味のわからない言葉になりましたみたいな。
ああなるほどな、それがさなんかゴミ箱に入ってるやつなんじゃないの？これはまだ違うんか。
そんな長かった？クラックス・ウィズ・なんちゃらとかですよ。
まあっていう感じなんでしょうね。まあだから結論まとめると双子、まあだから花とイブの両親が双子を授かったけど生まれました、生まれたけど助産師が、要は嘘ついて一人は死にましたって言って助産師が持って帰って一人、わかる言ってるよ、で2人が別々で生活してたけど、8歳になった時に、見つけてしまうと、自分の
相方
をでけど全然厳しいから、連れ去られた方は精神的に親がおかしくなっとって、まあその子供できへん体になってたから、っていうのでおかしくなってて、まあ要は遊びにも行かせてくれ、まあ外にも出られへん環境やって、で親が亡くなってその厳しい方の親が、で家出をして、ボブ・ディランかなんかのライブに見に行って途中で警察に捕まったと、で相方の両親がちゃんとおる方に罪をかぶってくれるっていうからかぶってもらったりとかしてなんやかんやしてる最中に、まあ15歳で初めて、彼氏ができて、その彼氏と初めてエッチをした時に、同じ症状が相方にも出たってことだよ。だから生理が来たタイミングで生理が来たみたいな、し、風邪ひくタイミングで風邪ひくみたいなのと一緒で、そういうタイミングが来たからもう一人の方も処女の方も、いろんな器具使って、処女じゃなくなしてみたいな話で、まあそっからいろんな物語みたいな、養子に住んだり、ただなんかサイモンとはもう別にそこまでなんか意図的に出会ったとかじゃなくて普通に出会ったっぽいな。普通に出会ってそこで2人で交互でやっていこうっていう話でやったんよ。だから今まで全部力を合わせてきたから、その処女を卒業するのも力を合わせてきたから、次が彼氏できた時も交互に相手していこうってなってんけど、その裕福な方の家庭って言ったらおかしいけど、が、まあ、裏切ったと、自分のものだけにしたいと、サイモンを、それで絶望してまた疎遠になるみたいな2人が、けどあるきっかけでまた2人が出会ったっていうか意思疎通できるようになって、一緒に住み始めてんけど、またそこでもまたおかしくなって、離れ離れになって、で一人はパブで働いて、で結婚妊娠して、8ヶ月目で流産して、そっちの両親も死ぬんやって、そこから、で死んだからこそまた呼び戻していいみたいな、呼び戻したけど夫は私のことが好きやったっていう、もう一人のパブで働いてた方のことが好きやって、プレゼントをあげたことに結婚して、割って、威嚇のつもりで振ったんが首に刺されて死んだと、まあそれが要は全ての謎やったっていう、なるほどねっていうマジで結構好きです、こういうの僕好きです。普通に面白かった。なんか文字打って検索していくっていうパターンは、まあこれはちょっとなんか一発目からなんか説明とかは全くないかな、なかなかちょっとあれやったけど、まあ分かってみればなるほどねっていう、あと動画をなんか6秒とかじゃなくて、なんか30秒固定とかにしてほしいな、全部の動画を。
なるほどな、
まあその6秒とかがいいんやろうけど。
まあまあでも満足はできたかな。
もうほんまに映画を自分で
うん
オチ先に見つけてもいいしみたいな、
うん
一個ずつ紐解いていくのもいいしみたいな、多分最初の3つで
うん
何を最初に見るかとか何を最初に調べるかでだいぶ分岐変わる。
あ
だから結局日付が若い方が、若い方から見ていった方が絶対に
まあそりゃそうやわな。
ストーリー的には面白かったな、俺らはもう訳も分からずとりあえず見ていったからまあめちゃめちゃ面白かったです、まあクオリティとしては、これスチームで1000円で売ってるけど、まあ普通に俺は3500円出せるな。
ああ、はいはい。
あと検索したりするので1個前のやつ忘れたりするから、
ああそうやな。
なんか1本見た気、ホラーゲームリトルナイトメアとか1本見た気にはならんけど、結構謎解き好きなんでまたやりますこういうの。ちょっとログオフしてみる
ああエンディングがあるんや。
なるほどね。まあ動画全部出してもよかったけど、ちょっと時間かかりすぎるやろうななんかオチ分かったらなんか前のこと調べる気にならんから
まあでも結構序盤にさ、鏡とかガラスを作るって言ってたやんか。その時に鏡って言わんでよかった。
ああ間違いないな。
速攻オチ分かってたからな。
けどあの状況で多分オチいっても多分はってなって終わってた、だからちょっと間何個かポツポツ見て終わってたかもしれんな。あと分かったことはこのゲームメモいらないです検索ひたすらしていくだけでいいんで、あと履歴いけるし。
そうやな。
最初はいるか。
だからその検索しようと思ってた言葉を忘れる。
ああまあそれはマジで忘れんな、結構5本の指の中で上位に入ってる。俺は
結構みんなそのやってる感じの人は、自分で時系列はバラバラに見てるけど自分で時系列をメモして、
なるほどな、
生い立ちを追っていってた。
なるほどなるほど、まあ1位は結局シャドウコリドーじゃないけど
あれは結構無敵やでな、濃いさがな。
そうなんや、あと適度の難しさ、
適度どころちゃうけどな。ちょっと
これはけどホラーなんかな。
ホラーではないな。
普通にゲームとしてめちゃくちゃ面白い。てかこんなゲームあるんやっていう、もうゲームじゃないゲームやもんな。へえ。あ、コンティニューあるやん。
うまいな。
まあじゃあ動画を全部出す気になった時に全部出します
いつになるやら分かりませんが、
ありがとうございました。終わりましょう。
お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。